Hey there, it's Bootzone here. This is a Hotpoint 6kg WMA50 washing machine. I recently posted a test wash video of this where it went on for a long time. Eventually it just kept tripping the switch in the consumer unit, and it was noted in the video, and I noticed it myself, that there was arcing on the suppressor, which is weird because suppressors rarely fail, and I just put it down to something weird going on and didn't really think about it and just left the machine for a while. Then it dawned on me that maybe there's a problem with the suppressor. So it's not plugged in. What I'm going to do, I've unscrewed it from the back. I haven't got the same, oh Jesus, look at that. Sure, it's obviously broken. Haha. And there you go. That thing's a dud. Right, okay. Well, that's good. You don't really need a suppressor. Suppressor just stops electrical interference messing with the mains. So the motor, whenever the motor's spinning, especially when it's spinning fast, it puts a back EMF, I think, back through the cables, and it can fry things or interfere with you know, TV broadcasts and radio broadcasts. It was, if I recall, when I was young, there used to be, we'd watch TV and the neighbours would use something like a hairdryer that didn't have a suppressor. This is going back to the early 1990s, 30 odd years ago. The TV would go all fuzzy, and it would only be for a couple of minutes because that's all they were doing. I also remember there was in our house an electric carving knife that had two blades that went side by side with a really grindy sounding motor, and that would mess with the TV as well. So the suppressor cuts that out, and it's a requirement of machines to have them. I've got two other ones that are different. These came out of Miele's, so they're fancier. They have the wrong type of spade connectors. They're too big. So that's got a small neutral, so you can't get it the wrong way around. The Miele's have the same size. So I'm going to try and bodge it together. Failing that, I'll have to cut this connector here and put some kind of a spade connector on it. I don't know, there must be a live and a neutral on that actually. That's not going to help me much either. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure that one out. That just goes in here. It doesn't, it's just going to the main switch here, so it doesn't have a live and a neutral obviously on it. Let's try and plug it out here. When you're putting these things together, they'll only go one way, which is good, but when you're trying to fix it then it's a bit difficult. It doesn't say anything on it, which is, it's got brown and red, which both are the colours for live. It's got a wiring diagram. Well, it says 1 and 2, live and neutral. You can see on that. I'd hazard a guess that 1 is live and 2 is neutral. And so 1 is brown. See that there? You see that there? It is, anyways. 1 is brown and 2 is very hard to see. It's very. You can just about see it there. Yeah, 1 is brown and 2 is red. So I don't care if I break this machine really, because as far as I'm concerned it's broken. But yeah, I've never seen a suppressor blow before. That is mighty, and I don't know why that would happen. It's really peculiar. Okay, we'll swap it out somehow. I'll bodge it together. I'm hoping one of these will fit, and I can just change one connector on the neutral there, and the little connectors here will fit. They have 1 and 2 on them as well. It looks like live is 2 on this one and neutral is 1. That doesn't help, because live is 1 on this one and neutral is 2. Okay, what's this one? Live goes to 2 on this one as well, so it's pretty much the same diagram but a slightly different arrangement. Okay, I'll bodge it together, show you what I've done, and then we'll do another test wash. It's just crazy, look at that. It should look like this, roughly speaking. Okay, so I ended up not using one of those Miele suppressors. I found this one, which came out of a Bosch. It doesn't have live and neutral indicated on it, but what I did was I just took it that the brown was alive before, I think. It was it's longer ago in my life than it is in the video, so you'll have to, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I've put that to live because they're both in parallel sides. That's my logic. I've got the old one just tangled up there to keep it out of the way. It just is redundant now, but I didn't want to unclip this, and I just left it like that. I didn't want it flapping around in there. I could have just cut it off, of course, as well, but I didn't. The cable's just coming out the top. It's going over to a plug on the wall. I'll switch that on in a moment. But yeah, that's the arrangement. It's the brackets off the Bosch, and I screwed it on. I was going to just leave it loose on top, but then I realised that the live and the neutral spade connectors in underneath, if they touch off the frame at all, because it's earthed, then you'll have an earth leakage fault, and you don't want that. So let's turn it on. I've got some, what have I got inside? Some old rags. Oh god, that's chintzy and cheap. I better put the water on and sort out the waste before I do any more, actually. Right, so this one has a hot and cold fill. It's still not live. It's got a hot and a cold fill. I've got it cold only because I've only got one connector out here, so that's pressurized now. Just turned on, and then the waste is just looped up like that. Coincidentally, there's a little cast-on Hotpoint, which is a similar model, but actually I would say that that's better quality than this one, even though it doesn't work anymore. It's one of two I have. One works, one doesn't. And the waste is just there, it'll come out onto the floor. Right, let's turn it on, wait for an explosion. I'll lean in on the plastic just so that I get a good feel of it. On. No smoke yet. I might put something over this, actually. I might just put a piece of wood over it, because mostly because it's an aluminium cased suppressor, and I don't want to get a face full of bits if it does blow up like the last one. Cold wash. Oh, I better put some of this soap in. Let's do that. Oh, that's where I kept the screws. I knew I'd put them somewhere safe. They're in that basket. See if they're there at the end. Okay. Letters, fast wash, blah 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 blah, color fast. Oh, this isn't. Oh, 30, okay. Color safe cotton. E. Should just try it on a 40. I like a 40. D. Okay, lights on. Oh, it's still on the last cycle then, I guess. Time saver. Maybe that's an error light system. Don't know. No, not a wash. Door locked. Pump's activating. Water's dribbling out. Water's coming in. Okay, well, it's coming in. Can't see it. Can hear it. Gloves, pillowcases, mostly just rags that I use. Take a peep in there. There's no flames or lights or anything like that licking away. Will the motor actuate? Is it going to be stuck because it can't take on hot water? Should I just pour in a bit? I suspect it might have an issue with no hot water. There's no noises coming off those connectors all the same. Not connectors, solenoid valves. It's not doing anything. It says wash. Hasn't got enough water in it. What can we do? Pour a bit of water in, I guess. Get some water. We're going for quality here. It's dirty washing up water. And I'll spill it everywhere. No, I'm doing alright. It's going in. Oh, poured it everywhere. It's about, oh yeah, there it is. It's registered. It's about, look, it's wobbling. You can hear it. I've just filled up those screws. Okay. It's moving. I'll put in a bit more water. How about that? See, the rinse should be okay because it's normally cold. But if it's trying to take in water through the hot valve and there's nothing there, then it'll get confused. I'll get another bit of water. It is still agitating, even though I haven't put in more, so there's a bit more clean water this time. Oh, I'm making a mess. Moving. Okay. Oh, what a mess. Oh, what a mess I'm making. But there it is. There's plenty of water in there now, so it should agitate for a while and do its thing. It looks... Well, actually, it blew... or died halfway through the wash before, because we were 20 odd minutes into it. I think before that suppressor blew the last time. I'll leave that piece of wood up on top as a precaution. Safety first and all that. Put the top back on, and I can't be bothered really. It's quite a gentle little agitate there. So this leaves me in a bit of a pickle. Well, we'll see. We'll see if it works first, but it would leave me in a pickle if it works. Because then I'll have a machine that works, and can wash laundry, and I could keep. But, you know, it's relatively clean inside. But I don't think I'd get any money for it if I sold it, because somebody's dragged it along the side. As before, it's got some dents in it. It's a crap machine, you know, it's really chintzy and cheap plastic. Even to try and it's got some stains or rub marks on the front there as well, where it's been dragged out of a door or something. But I imagine, oh, it's got something along the bottom there as well. Don't know what that is. More scrapes, yeah. So it's been pretty well abused, which isn't any good. So what do? A working machine that you can't really sell because it's crap, because it looks crap more than it is crap. People just don't want them, you know, and that's the sad thing really. It's got a splittable tub, which I reckon is good. It's got a hot fill, which I reckon is really good, because we have a combi boiler for gas. So hot water is way cheaper if you boil it off gas. This would be a good efficient machine in that case. People, you know, the machines reckon they're more efficient if they have cold only fill, and that's the way they sell them to you. But I don't agree with that, because if you're paying a third or a quarter of the price for gas energy, even if you waste a little bit in the pipe getting from the boiler to the washing machine, it's not that big a deal. Okay, I'll check in periodically as we go. Hopefully it'll do the wash. I put it on time saver. That doesn't normally mean much on these things, because it goes from, you know, an hour and a half down to an hour and 10 minutes or something. But okay, stay tuned. It's about 20 odd minutes in, and it's just been agitating the whole time, which is fine with me. It's probably going to take longer. Yeah, it's warm now, so it's probably doing the 40 degrees at the moment. Maybe not, but it'll be heating up. It hasn't done a pump out, so it's just going to agitate and wash until it's ready, and then we'll check in again. It all seems fine so far. So it's gone on to the first pump out. Nice hot dirty water coming. Jesus, pretty filthy water, but like, it was dirty rags, so I'm not surprised. And the first bowl of water was dirty washing up water, so there was a pretty high chance it was going to be dirty. Yeah, it's quite warm there. You can hear the pump going. Should take on some cold fill now for the rinse. Nothing yet. Actually, you might do a spin to wring out some of that. Water. You can see there, that's my coloured sock. It's on my foot here. I got some really nice socks for Christmas there a few months ago. Not much else to say really. While you're waiting for a washing machine to pump out. Something's clicked inside it. Yeah, there it is. It's off now. It's a bit of an odd load, so it'll try and distribute that there. Yeah, it still feels a bit of a wobble, so it'll slow down and speed up to try and distribute that. Squeezing out a bit of water. There it is, look. See the bubbles coming out as it spins? It's like magic. Washing machines really are magic. Quite wobbly though, look at that. Wobble wobble. I think it thinks it's too wobbly, so it's going to try again. Looks a bit better, maybe not. So because it's only a small load, it's hard for it to balance it evenly. It stopped again. Will it try a third time? It's trying to distribute the load, I reckon. before it does a little spin. Pump's still running. Okay, another go. I wonder, can I hold it? Yeah, that's getting it going. Oh, now it's off, you see. Getting more suds out. Yeah, look at it go. Oh, it's very hard to resist even that tiny amount of... Oh. Didn't like that. Someone's in a hurry. Looks a little bit smoother maybe. I guess it needs to be quite well balanced, because otherwise, you know, that block of concrete could do a bit of damage if it hits here, or if it rises up too much, it could hit the top of the machine. I wonder what it thinks. This little washing machine brain. Is it using fuzzy logic to do this, or is it just using something quite plain? There's a click there. Sounds like a solenoid or something clicking in and out. The noise is just the pump running, but it's not pumping anything out because water isn't squeezing itself out of those closed by magic. Yeah, because it's only got a tiny amount of laundry in it, it probably doesn't know how to balance itself as well. But like, it will do it by the looks of things. It's going faster and faster now. A tiny bit, oh, there's a bit more water coming out now. It's amazing how the centrifuge that is a washing machine works so well. They are quite an amazing machine. I've just been staring, looking at it now for almost 6 minutes in wonder. A little bit of soapy suds coming out there. There's water coming in, so it must be cold. Like, this is what I mean about bad build quality. When you offer to close that up, it won't go in. You have to kind of wiggle it a bit. It's just pretty crap. I'm guessing it's just going to do another, yeah, it's got on to rinse and spin now. So it was on wash before, so it's on rinse and spin, so I'll just leave it and check in a while. There, it's off to agitate now. I'll keep on taking on water to rinse it off. See you in a bit. So this is the end of rinse number 1. It's still coming out soapy. it's doing alright. The fact that it's gotten this far. We're nearly an hour into the wash, maybe. Not bad going. Didn't take long, that rinse. Maybe 10 minutes. There's the drain there, just dribbling out slowly. It'll need another rinse, I guess. We'll see. Oh, it's speeding up a bit. It's even faster now. So it did its second pump out there for the second rinse. Water was pretty clear that time. And it's moved on to final spin. So it'll do a spin and then I'll report back. I probably won't watch that because it gets pretty tedious. Seems to be working fine though. It's moving through everything. It's not blowing up suppressors and whatnot. Pretty good. It's done one spin and it's just kind of motoring up again for another spin. It should pick up a little bit faster really, because that's not quite there yet. And you can't really see it, but the water is just oozing out the bottom there very gently. There's really nothing coming out of it anymore, just that, look, there's a little tiny bit oozing out. And the suds are just in the hose, they're not in the water, I don't think. Keep an eye on the light, it's on final spin, maybe it'll go to end, might do another spin depending on how it feels. No, speeding up again. So the pump's still running, it's still lit up on final spin. It might just do a little agitate to freshen up that laundry, it might not, I don't know what this machine does. I'm kind of had enough. You can hear my little colleague there in the background talking. Maybe... Yeah, there's a glove in that washing machine. It might be that it takes 2 minutes for it to go from final spin to end because it's the door lock. Could be the door lock. If so, there's only 2 minutes to go. So just about 2 seconds after I stopped filming there, the end light came on. So let's just check if that door's... Yeah, the door's unlocked, so it's just a door locking thing. Laundry looks fine. You know, it's dirty old laundry. There's a bit of grit in there, but that's just dirt. That's not, that's just from being sitting. It's not mold or anything like that. Okay, you close it up then. So then, let's switch it off over here. Unplug it. And then let's have a look at this. So I guessed right, I guess, on this suppressor. There's the old one. Right, there's no power going to it. I'll disconnect that. I'll burst it open actually. I'll disconnect it and burst it open and we'll have a look and just see if there's anything in there. Okay, so after that, let's have a look at this wiring diagram, or the diagram schematic. Got a live and a neutral in at the bottom. Then you've got some kind of a capacitor, PE. I don't know what that means, but there's an earth there somewhere. Oh right, so the capacitor has some kind of an earthing thing going through it. Does it? Yeah, that'll be this piece of metal going up through the capacitor, I guess. And there's some kind of, is that a resistor or something there as well? And then that's just the connector unit up on top. It's a pretty good diagram of that actually. One is on the left and two is on the right. And there's the little blades and all. That's a pretty good indication there of that connector.
Okay, and the earth is on, no, there's no earth on the connector. Okay, so I've pulled it apart. Let's turn it up that way, the way that it was, and you can see there's the little wire. You see there's this little tiny speck in there of copper on the tip of my dirty fingernail, and then this one has a bit of solder on it, but that's just blown out up here. I pulled the copper bits apart, but you can see that capacitor, it's kind of rolled up or layered, just blown apart. I wonder why that would happen. Wonder would it happen again. Maybe I don't care. There you go, that's the repair. Blown suppressor on a washing machine. I've never seen that before. Although I have had people, I think a couple of years ago I sold one or two on eBay. I haven't done that recently actually. A couple of these, but so maybe they had blown on other machines. As a repair goes, I've not seen it as a repair before. So there you go. That was the Hotpoint WMA50. Put comments below on what you think happened here and why that happened. I'd really be interested to know. Thanks for watching. See you later.